Good morning and welcome to DCS World. I will today talk about why you should get the AJS 37 Viggen made by Heatblur Simulations on the DCS sale. Now, I should point out that this video will be current for pretty much any DCS sale in the future, so even if the video may look a bit outdated, it may be that someone just sent it to you for the next sale going onward. Now, I will be just saying the Viggen from now on, because saying AJS 37 Viggen in English is not really something I want to do a lot. Now, if you're new to DCS and flight simulation in general, I would advise you to have a flight stick. While you can fly DCS with a mouse and keyboard, I wouldn't advise it. There's a lot of precision work that simply needs a joystick to be effective. Now, we are gonna get onto the subject matter at hand, and the first thing you want to know about the Viggen is it's a very simple startup. Very simple. This is what I'm gonna do now is a procedure that will be within your system very quickly indeed. So you see all these power switches? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all there is to it. Well, we can always quiet down the lighting as well. Right now everything is powering up, and all we need to wait is to wait. And if you really want to, you can start rolling before the navigational system has come online and stuff like that, but that is only useful for scramble situations. Wouldn't really advise it. So we are gonna wait for one of the key features of the Viggen to get ready for us to use, and that is this thing. This is the navigational computer, the CK37, and it stands for Centralkalkylator 37, and is what will be your navigational tool. Now, we already inserted the cartridge with our navigational information, so we will simply go 9099 and let's go. Now, the data from the cartridge will be loaded in. There is mission-specific cartridges, and you can also auto-generate cartridges for multiplayer servers. A very nice tool to have. So, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't start taxing. But before we start taxing, there's another thing you should know about the Viggen. It has a Sony Walkman. Now, I have loaded this Sony Walkman with era-appropriate tunes. But the first tune I listen to is always the AJS 37 Viggen theme. The same one that will appear in the menu screen. I just love it. It's so era-appropriate. It's absolutely a nice track to listen to, and it's wonderful. Did I mention I like it? So we're passing all these Swedish planes on the tarmac, but none of them are the Viggen, so they don't get to fly today. As you can see, I'm a bit of a... yeah, I use Swedish skins for everything if I can get away with it. If there is a Swedish skin, I'm bound to use it. Only exception is the F5, where I use the Austrian skin, but that's what you get for being 25% Austrian, I guess. So, taxing the Viggen is very simple. You don't need to remember anything about nose wheel steering or anything. Just apply rudder. Okay, so we are not clear for takeoff just yet.
Enfield 1-1, brought to me. You are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.50.
Now, this will not just be a demo flight. Okay, we can leave the Walkman running in the background. I didn't really intend it to do that, but it switched songs so quickly that interrupting the song would just be rude at this point. So we're ready for takeoff. We'll switch to the HUD option. Full throttle. Now, you might wonder, are we going to get off the afterburner? The answer is no, we're not going to do that. The Viggen in DCS excels doing one thing: flying low and fast onto the target. Even in less than optimal weather conditions, the Viggen is a solid option when it comes to flying against ground targets. It is less capable against air targets, but that doesn't really matter, and we should be flipping up our HUD to the in-flight position. So, as you might have noticed, we are still going full burner here, as indicated by these three lights, zone 3 as it's called. That is the maximum burn. And if you can see, this yellow thing indicates where we are flying. So, or rather where we should be flying. But since the white dot, our own course, is compatible, then we have here, this indicator will tell us how long we have until next breakpoint or waypoint, depending on how you see it. In Swedish it's punkt, but the easiest way to translate it would actually be waypoint. However, the Swenglish is strong in this one, so as long as we keep the plane onto this course, we will have no problem finding our objective. We are passing waypoint 1, and the navigational system will set us automatically for waypoint 2. Now, waypoint 2 will be the initiation point for the target, because we are going to fly a mission here. We're going to ruin the Russians' day, which is what the Viggen was designed to do. So we are going to lock in the course, and the Viggen doesn't really have an autopilot, but it has an altitude hold, which is extremely effective. So I'm going to introduce you to what is the bread and butter of the Viggen's armament. These are the iron bombs, high drag iron bombs. And they can be released in a very low altitude in a very spectacular way, and that is indeed what I intend to show you today. What I will be doing is I'm going to go down to tact. I'm going to press 9, and I'm going to press B4 to mark the B4 as the target waypoint. And I just realized that was actually incorrect. It should be B3 that is the target waypoint. But the computer is very forgiving in that, so we're going to switch it back to Ref Lola and out. We can even switch it to time here, and there will be a countdown depending on if we are on target or not. Now, we passed waypoint 2 while I was talking, so we're going to unsafe the ordnance. This will change the HUD, as you can see. I can see the target straight ahead. Now we need to go lower, because the indicator you see here is the indicator for our bombs. This indicator will show us where our bombs are going to land. So I need to... yeah, I think that should be it. The large point is the forward point where the bombs will land, and the smaller point is the aft point where the bombs will land. So, we have a lot of Russians ahead of us. Let's make them angry. And we hold the button. Bombs away. That's a lot of angry Russians right there. Now, we are not to stay around here and watch what our explosives. We'll leave that for the recon flights. Instead, we are heading back to base. Now, I accidentally added waypoint 4 as a target waypoint, but that will not be a problem for us. The navigational system has already engaged the waypoint as our next objective. So we'll just fly through that in normal speed. The Viggen feels right at home in this weather. But as you can see, I've now started to not use what you would... Oh, and weapons on safe as well. So we'll switch the nav back to the navigational mode. And we're heading back to Paradise City, that meaning in Batumi. But first, a nice little trip through the mountains, following the waypoints. Just in case those Russians are trying to send a SAM after us or something like that. I don't think they will. They're far too busy trying to put out the fires on their bombers. As you can see, there's also a red light showing in the cockpit, showing Feldlast, meaning dropped cargo. And this means that the bombs have been deployed successfully. Now this is just relaxing, flying a Viggen through the mountains. Oh, looks like we hit that spot of bad weather. We'll take it down again. The Viggen is a very nice aircraft to fly. It's very much a pilot's aircraft. Just like the MiG-21 and the F-5, but it's far more specialized into the attack role. The F-5 is more of a multi-role thing, same with the MiG-21, though the MiG-21 is more of an interceptor. And we've just passed waypoint 4 and are heading on to waypoint 5, which will be our landing waypoint. Or rather, our approach waypoint. So we better let Batumi know we are inbound.
Batumi, in field 1-1, inbound. Enfield 1-1, Batumi, fly heading 276, port 19, QFE 29.50, runway 13, to pattern altitude.
Acknowledge Batumi. We will be following our waypoints because they are perfectly set for a good approach. But we also need to slow down a bit. The Viggen also has one last advantage that I will show you now. And I think you will be enjoying it immensely, because it helps with landing on short strips. Now I should also be very conscious about my speed here, making sure I do not come in far too quickly. It is a very easy thing to do in the Viggen, come in far too quickly. Now we are going to activate the reverser. Gears out. I think we're gonna come in far too fast here, but and then we'll switch the HUD into the landing mode.
Cleared for visual, contact tower.
And we just passed waypoint 5. HUD is down. Yeah, that turn bled off a lot of speed for us, so we actually need to make sure that we have a little bit more speed behind us, and we need to adjust our heading to match the runway a little bit better. Now the Viggen has a unique engine system called a reverser, meaning that when you touch down, if this lever here is pulled out, the engine will reverse, meaning that you can basically pull full throttle and it will break your aircraft. Not break as in make it broken, but it will slow it down. And this is a very useful ability to have, so Viggen pilots need to do a very interesting thing in regards to the landing. Never mind my landings, by the way. My landings are always shite. I'm gonna say that before anyone else say it. My landings are always fucking shite. So when a Viggen pilot has touched down, the first thing they will usually do is just pull the throttle to maximum, so the reverser can engage. And now we're going to gently increase the throttle, and we're going to adjust our heading on the runway. And as you can see, our runway is a little bit slippery. As you can see, we actually had a really short brake distance. So we are going to try and get off this horrible thing of ice. And we're going to slow it down a bit. I don't know if the runway is slippery or if I broke something. It is entirely possible that there is a combination, but knowing my landings, I probably broke something and I just don't want to admit it because I'm trying to persuade you to buy this thing. Either way, 30 bucks is a steal for an absolute fun aircraft like this one. And I think we are gonna be taxiing up to the runway's end here and park there. I don't really want to taxi at the moment. Instead, we will just be standing there and listening to the music on our Walkman, enjoy everything, and I might be showing the
Enfield 1-1, taxi to parking area.
Copy that. We'll just assume this is our parking area then. It's cold outside, so we will just turn off generator, turn off